Hi everybody, my name is Craig and this is my YouTube channel, The Last Page. Today I thought I'd do my June wrap up and show you the books I read in June, and here we go. The first book I read in June was Buddha in the Attic by Julie Osaka. I hope that's how you say it. This is the story of Japanese women in the early 1900s until the outbreak of World War II, and this tells the story of many Japanese women through that time, and it's told in a different way. It's not just told from one character's point of view, it's told from many characters' points of view, and it's very interesting and disturbing in places to know what some of these Japanese women went through in that time. But it's a very quick and quite easy to read and well worth a read if you get a chance to read Buddha in the Attic. The next book I finished in June was 20th Century Ghosts by Joe Hill. This is a collection of short stories, and I'd been reading this one for a little while. I was just reading one short story at a time. I really enjoyed this book, and a lot of the short stories are very good. They're, how would you explain it? They're not always horror in that simple term, but they're very good. Some of them are very tense and good at keeping you glued to the page, and I really enjoyed reading all the short stories in Joe Hill's 20th Century Ghosts. Okay. The next book I finished in June was Desperate Characters by Paula Fox. This is the story of the Brentwoods, Otto and Sophie. They live in Brooklyn. Sophie has been feeding this stray cat, and then one day it bites her, and the story starts there with her wondering if she has caught rabies, and the story goes from there. It was a quick and quite easy read, so if you get a chance to pick up Desperate Characters, it would be worth your while just to have a read. And yeah. Next book I have is The Magician's Elephant by Kate DiCamillo. I hope that's how you say it. This is a children's novel, but I really like this book. It's about Peter. He's an orphan, but one day he goes to see a fortune teller, and she tells him that his sister, who he thought died at birth, is still alive, and an elephant will lead him to her. This is a very easy book to read, but very touching, and there are some very nice illustrations all the way through this book, like this one, and they just add to the story. And this is my second Kate DiCamillo book. I read The Tiger Rising, I think last year, and I really liked that book too, and this one I really enjoyed too. And if you get a chance to read any of her books, it's probably well worth a while. My next book that I finished in June is Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I had seen Blade Runner many times before this, and I'd always wanted to read this book but just never got around to it, but I did in June as part of a group reads, and I really liked the book. It's different from the movie, but all the same themes are in there. It's just that the story is arranged differently and the themes come about differently from the story, but this I really enjoyed. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and it's a short book, quite easy to read, but there is a lot in there, and highly recommend picking up this book if you get a chance. And the next book I have is Cherry by Mary Karr. This is a memoir of her adolescent years. I'd read Liars Club before this, and this was just as good as Liars Club for me. It's about her adolescent years. It's about her feeling alone, like she can't find anybody that's the same as her, and there's lots in this book. And if you haven't read Liars Club or Cherry, I highly recommend picking up both books and reading them. Neither of the books are long, and they are such good memoirs. Next book I have is The Wise Man Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I'd been waiting to read this book for a while, but I was looking for the hardback edition like I have of The Name of the Wind, and I finally found it last year when I was on holidays. So this year while I was on holidays, I decided to read this, and I found it very hard to put down. I like the world, I really like the character Koff, and I can't wait to find out more about his story and what he's done and what he's going to do. And a lot happens in this book, and I really enjoyed it, and really looking forward to the next one, which will hopefully come out soon. The other book I read of Patrick Rothfuss last month was The Slow Regard of Silent Things, and this is a story about Ori, who is a character in the Kingkiller Chronicles, and I really like this book. It's very different. There is not so much action in this book, but this is about Ori and who she is. And if you've read The Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear, you know her, and she's very beautiful, and I really enjoyed this book. So if you read The Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear, I recommend picking this up so you get to know Ori a little bit better and see who she really is. That's all I have for my June wrap up, and sorry I didn't talk about each book very long, but I was on holiday, so I got a lot read and there was a lot of books to show. But if you have any questions about any of the books, or you want to know anything, just comment it below and I will reply. And I love talking about books, so quite happy to do that. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.